Всем привет, друзья! С вами Никита, и мы уже около травника.
Go away. Leave me alone.
Я на частной территории.
No. Let me
То есть тебя
sleep.
ничего не смущает, да? Окей. Ну и бабка. Я ей цветов принес, чтобы она мне зелье сварила. Она спи. Ты же опытная травница. Я по-любому есть перк. Создавай зелье сразу. Воспользуйся им. Что это у тебя котелок перевернулся? Это ты мне тонко намекаешь, что еды у тебя не будет, да? Ну ладно.
Very well.
Ah.
So what goes in?
At least.
All right.
Промазал.
I've gathered up all we need.
Excellent. This will probably do the trick. And do you have the wormwood?
Here it is.
Fine, fine. I'll get started. It's going to take a while.
Алька. Только мне не сказали. Аль. Значит, ждем. Ух ты. У нас метка пропала. Это плохо. Пивасик. Ищем пивасик в ледечко. Заодно-то мы пока похаваем. Энергии мы не слишком много восстановили. Пока спали до полуночи. Ничего страшного. Нет, и не хочу ни с кем драться. У меня важное дело. Какие драки? О чем вы? Мне надо пивко достать. У меня 21 тысяча золотых. Я могу купить даже что-нибудь в таверне. Да, идти-то. А, ну вот же. Угу. Корчмарь.
What do you need?
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I'm a few kegs short myself. And once I run out, my regulars will go elsewhere.
What's happening?
Nothing much, thank.
О. А у тебя пиво, у тебя тоже нормальное пиво. Все купил. Вы просто жадные. Вы не хотите делиться ни с кем пивом. Да дальше. Карта. Угу. Смотрим здесь. О, там же эти два придурка моих друга должны жить. Может, их тоже на войну позвать? Да не, они наверняка будут там бесполезны. Так. О, как интересно, я этой лошадью рулю. Ну, нормально. Этот корчмарь должен мне помочь.
God save you, Henry.
God be with you.
Andrew, there's no more beer in Talmberg, and the soldiers are starting to grumble. Can't you send some there?
I could. There's nothing in it for me.
Ой, да ладно тебе. Ого.
Just as a matter of interest, who do you pay your taxes to?
You're saying I should be paying to Talmberg, told Sir Divish? When Sir Havel of Waldeck was the master here, I managed to wriggle out of it. Nobody's come collecting since.
Well, right now, there are 3 noblemen camped by Talmberg, one of whom might be very interested to learn about all the tax you owe. I imagine he might want to collect it in the form of beer.
When you put it like that, I have got a few kegs I could send over. I won't lose out too much. They'd only spoil if I kept them longer, and I'd have to throw them away.
Just remember, if you poison them, they'll hang you for it.
Those soldiers drink it up long before it has time to go off. And what's more, what with all that cabbage being eaten, it wouldn't occur to anyone the shits came courtesy of the beer. I'll have them loaded up right away and taken there. And give their lordships my regards. Tell them I'm sending my best beer as a gift. Why the devil shouldn't I get some goodwill out of this at least?
Угу. Понятно.
Are you serious?
А чё это?
What do you think about
What do I think? That as long as decent people can live in peace, I can talk my way out of paying taxes. I don't care who my liege lord is.
Well, this new lord never forgets a man who fails to pay him a single groschen. And the poor probably go straight to the gallows for it.
That's terrible news, especially for us poor folk. I hope you'll drive him out of here so fast he'll shit himself. Or hang him from the tallest Talmberg tree.
People usually shit themselves when that happens too.
All to the good.
I'm going to
A
go
nice
to
bit of
the
manure and everything blossoms.
Got it for you right here.
А чё? Почему квест-то висит до сих пор?
What?
Он же сказал отправить пивко. Ладно. Далее. Пообщаться с углежогами. О, нет. Верни. Буква F. Наскакали. На углежогах у нас быстрого перемещения нет, поэтому придется идти своим путем. Ой, убери ты уже факел, уже светло. О чем мне, кстати, говорят? Так. Дёготь. Мясо. Подождать, пока сна добьет, готовится. Значит, придется за ним ехать обратно. Ну да, конечно, чего я еще ожидал. Конечно, нам придется ехать за ним обратно. Пора уже, кстати, я думаю, зверей выслеживать. Нам скоро возвращаться в Тальнберг. Заодно мясо завезли бы. Что зря время терять. Так, рык. О, молодец.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Damn it!
А вот тут с кем договариваться.
I'm glad to see you.
I'm looking for some pitch for Talmberg.
Already? What happened to the last lot we supplied?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Do you have any, or don't you?
I do. I had a buyer lined up, but it's been a while since he showed his face. What do you need it for?
Talmberg's been taken by a horde of brigands, so we're laying siege to it. We could use some pitch.
Christ blood. I hadn't heard the news. All right, it's all yours. You gave us a hand with that ginger when we needed it, and if it's for Sir Divish, I know my duty. If you want to haul it away yourself, feel free, or I can get someone to deliver it to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Так, надо будет сказать, чтобы йогурт забрали. Далее. Говори с паном Дивишем. После ужаса обязательно. Ох, мой самый любимый город. Там, по-моему, даже где-то для меня задание было. Но они мне его не дадут. Потому что жадные сволочи. Потому что я как-то чутка накуролесил здесь. Корчмарь. Корчмарь.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Да-да, и ему тоже.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I'm sorry about that, but I don't have any to spare. I can hold out a while with what I have, but I'd be running short myself if it came to that. You'll have to try somewhere else.
Is there anything...
Indeed there is. Around here, you should hear about...
Чё он висит-то до сих пор? Я спросил в каждой корчме. Он висит. Не нравится мне это. Ладно, отправляемся в Тальмберг. Я так понимаю, снадобья будут готовы только завтра. Пойдем скажем, что у нас все с требушетом хорошо. Или я зря сюда пришел. Сейчас как осада начнется резко.
A well-chosen site. You want to strike the gate, do you?
True. We don't want to do more damage than necessary.
I quite understand. Sir Toth is holed up there, is he?
Just so, Master Conrad. I hear you have some accounts to settle with him.
Ah, not entirely. I've done with him. Sigismund trusted him more than me in his campaign against the Ottomans, and we all know how that ended up.
How did it end up?
Badly, my lord. The flower of French knighthood was slain there. Sigismund fled for his life, and I did too, I must confess.
Be assured we shall not make the same mistake here. We do not intend to starve them into submission, but to break down the gate.
I am at your service, my lords. We will build the trebuchet quickly. It will be ready in a matter of days. And I can supply, for example, Raketa to sweep the foe from the battlements.
Roquetta? I do not believe I've heard of such a term.
Raketa are missiles filled with black powder with a touch hole at the bottom to ignite it. They shoot forward, something like a hand cannon, but without rocks. The rocket is the missile.
I see. But we don't have black powder in these parts. Nor cannon.
Indeed. It should have occurred to me. But I am very fond of Roquetta, and I always think what Alexander the Great might have accomplished with them. I understand. We find ourselves in a conventional situation that demands a conventional solution.
Именно.
I'm still hoping that Toth will see sense and parley with us.
He may well do so, especially when we set up the trebuchet on his doorstep.
Ну так, начинайте строить. О! Видишь?
Jesus, look where you're going.
What do you need?
How do you feel, Sir Divish? How's the shoulder?
I felt better, boy. I feel awful, truth be told, and my shoulder's paining me.
Let someone tend to the wound and you'll soon be better.
The flesh can be healed, perhaps, but the spirit... Henry, can you do something for me?
What is it you need, sir?
I need a priest as well as a physician. The closest was in Rovna, but I don't know what happened to him. And then there's the one from Uzhitz. What's his name?
Godwin. But why would you need a priest? The wound will heal, especially with the help of one of the monks.
It's not about me. I've got a lot of wounded here that won't see morning, and dead men, and I have to confess my sins.
Чего?
Raise the alarm! Watch out!
А если ты все-таки меня обманул? Зря ты это сделал. И зря ты пришел сюда. Ой, дебил. Итак, что мы будем делать? Где моя лошадь? Вон ты. А все, хватит свистеть. Ты садись. Смотрим. Скачем мы сюда. Давай. Надо поговорить с мужиком, который сейчас будет забирать дёготь. Потом отправимся за травницей. Оп. Ох, и поскакать же нам по разным местам придется. По всей территории носимся, а? Так.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I've arranged some beer for you from the local tavern.
You're a proper treasure, you are. I'm gonna put a word in about how well you look after us. Like your own kith and kin.
The charcoal burners nearby have some stocks of pitch they'll let us have.
That's handy. Sir Robard will be pleased. What little we had left was running out, and he was getting worried.
Well, you can stop worrying.
Good. I'll get someone to take care of it.
Замечательно. Осталось притащить ему мясо. А я его как раз таки и не нашел. Хорошо, давай сюда. А что он там говорил про лекаря? Лекарь из Ровны? А там же только один человек остался. О, неужели... Ой, отстаньте от меня. Неужели нам все-таки придется выполнить тот квест? Но если я также буду продолжать врезаться в разные крыши, то мы ничего не выполним. Вперед! Интересно. А у обычных стражников надо спрашивать, что им надо? Ну там же было написано в квесте. Поспрашивай у людей. Может им что-то надо, какая-нибудь помощь? Я-то спрашивал только у тех, на ком есть метка. Так, женщина. Давай зелье.
So, is the concoction ready?
All done. Here, take the keg. I won't be lugging a heavy great thing like that around myself.
Thank you for your help.
Well, best of luck, lad. Now, I need a rest.
Ты хорошо постаралась. Отнеси снадобье в лагерь. Угу. Так, монастырь. Интересно, где мы будем спать в ближайшее время? Надо будет об этом позаботиться. А то негоже уставшим будет бегать. Угу. Это что, до сих пор моя палка валяется здесь?
I've come to ask for help.
Again? Such trying times we live in. God is testing us all. So what is it you need?
Their lordships have laid siege to Talmberg, and the brigands have wounded Sir Divish and many other people. I'm to ask if the monastery might send someone to help.
These are tragic times. Fortunately, I've only a little work left to do here, so I'll gather my things and set off for Talmberg.
Thank you, Father. May God reward you 1,000 times.
Быстро договорились, однако. Далее. Мясо. Надобье. Отец Багута. Идем к отцу Багуте. Потом в лес за мясом. И возвращаемся в Тальмберг. Он готов. Как-то часто я туда-сюда бегаю. Надо было сразу вот Дивиша квест взять. Как-то протупили мы с этим моментом. Лишний раз в Сазаву и в Ужицу заходим. Так, энергия уже заканчивается. Надо что-нибудь съесть. Ой, да какие нападения? Неудача. А нет, довольно удачно он ушел. Так, что это у нас тут бурчит? Ты что делаешь?
God be with you.
I see you know how to wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practiced with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
Угу. Прикольно.
There's something I need from you, Father Godwin.
Is there, my son? How can I help?
There are a lot of dead and wounded at Talmberg, and no one to make the sign of the cross on their foreheads.
Has someone requested my services?
Sir Divish himself.
Well, Sir Divish sends for me, and you're doing the asking, young Hal. How could I refuse? I'll go there right away.
Отлично. Со всеми договорился. Пища. Помощь для мракоедов. А почему она осталась у меня? Грибочки. Ели. Теперь... Вот сюда нам надо. Точнее, вот сюда. Нам нужно мясо. Сколько там мяса нам надо? Нам нужно 30 мяса. Оп. Так, отлично, проскочили. 30 мяса. По идее, даже кролика хватит. Неужели один кролик сможет накормить целое войско? Сказали бы, нам нужно 1000 мяса. Это да, это верю. А тут 30. У меня браконьеры больше просят. Подозрительно. Или наши солдаты так сильно не доедают? Вы это, знаете, голодный солдат, хреновый солдат. А чё я бегу по дороге? Мне все-таки... Мне ж дичь нужна. А ну стоять! Ого! Это здорово! Но... Как говорится, 30 так 30. Ого, а что это мы перегружены? Все. Вернуться. Я здесь. Сначала отдадим мясо. Оно, конечно, не испортится за такой маленький промежуток времени. Ну, вот чисто, чтобы перебдеть. Мало ли он скажет, хочу свежайшее. Вот.
How are you, Henry?
Держи свежайшее.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I brought you some meat.
Stack it over here.
That's the lot.
Good. Well, thanks very much. And when you've got more, feel free to stop by. You won't be unwelcome. Oh yes, and here's a little something for the trip.
Отлично. А что он мне дал-то? Пожалуй, ничего мне нет. Вообще обещали, вот патч же вышел. Обещали как-то баги убрать в квестах. А может, я просто слепой дурак. Никогда нельзя убирать такую возможность. А где Дивиш-то прячется? Ну, он в деревне-то. О, он что, в корчме сидит, что ли? А, это там не Дивиш. Лагерь. Я смотрю, вы везде лагерей наставили. А. Это ваш основной лагерь. Эй. Где? А. Ты что, прячешься? Зачем?
Greetings.
This ought to help with your sleepy soldiers.
What's in it? It stinks to hell.
Yes, and it's hellish potent too. A drop in the evening, and you won't fall asleep till just before noon.
Really? I hope it does the job, that it doesn't give them a runs in the process.
Hopefully not. But if it does, well, it's hard to sleep with the runs, isn't it?
True enough, but you're not much good as a guard when you're squatting in the bushes.
А почему? Будет в засаде. Альмберг. Эй. Скажи Фейфер. А, вы так типа ничего не сказали, да? То есть он сам не понял, что Конрад пришел. Только если я скажу об этом лично, он поймет. Теперь понятно, почему он трибушет построить не может. А? Начинается уже потихонечку сонница у нас. Ну, не бессонница, а слабость.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
I came to an agreement with Conrad.
He's already here. You wouldn't believe how clever that fellow is. Now we really will build that trebuchet. That I guarantee you.
Glad I could be of service.
I'm truly grateful to you. And the men will be too when the assault starts. Fine work. You've certainly saved many lives. I probably shouldn't, but go and have a look in my trunk. You might find something there you can use.
Thank you.
О! А где твой сундук? Скажи, будь добр. Это? Не похоже. Очень не похоже. А возле тебя никаких сундуков нет. Вот этот мужичок. Тут тоже сундука нет. Тут Боря спит. Стражник хорошо одетый. Ладно, пойдем. Спать. Нам все равно надо ждать. $12 часов, и из-за того, что у нас удобство 30%, энергия даже не полностью восстановится. Я надеюсь, они, как китайцы, за ночь нам построят кушет. Если нет, то они очень плохо работают. Что там? 2 палки соединил, веревку натянул и швыряйся булыжниками. Ты что не работаешь? Я не вижу ничего похожего на трибушет. Здесь окончание работы. Найди Маркварта, помоги панам. Где лошадь? Ну что поделать? Не спешат они. Пойдем прогуляемся, чего уж там. Узнаем, как у них дела. Мором, да? Найдем котелок. Съедим у кого-нибудь чего-нибудь. О, а ты меня встречаешь даже.
Good health to you, sir.
How's it looking, Melikar?
I'm glad to see you, Henry.
I'd like to thank you again. Everyone is cured. It's nothing short of a miracle.
Oh, that's a relief. You've suffered enough. We've all suffered enough.
God's truth. You know, the folk here are truly grateful. They'd have you and Nicodemus canonized if they could. They brought me gifts for the two of you. I wasn't keen on the idea at first. We're not left with much since the livestock died. But since you're here...
Ой, да ладно вам. Оставьте себе.
No, no. I can't possibly accept that. Give it all back, Melikar. With my thanks.
That's kind of you. I'm glad you appreciate our situation. Things are tough, all right.
I understand. I'm just glad everything turned out well.
So am I, lad. So am I.
Вот. Мы тут закончили. Ух ты. А чё это я тут навыки не качаю? Здоровье до минимума, я стану берсерком. Так. Угу. Ну, давай возьмем вот это чё. Красноречие. Купцы охотно будут скупать. Речь о приторгах. Ну, давай вот так. Это все. Да. Ты ешь. Я вижу, что ты ешь. Поделись. Ом-ном-ном-ном-ном-ном. Сбежали? Вылезь. Воин, ты почему здесь? И почему у тебя такой смешной толстый меч? Какой-то он странный. Возвращаемся. Я надеюсь, вы построили уже? Или сколько там ждать-то надо? Я не вижу ничего здорового. Медленно работаете.
Welcome, Henry.
Могу я как-то вас ускорить?
Greetings. What business have you?
Вы слишком медленно работаете.
Master Fafar, how's the trebuchet construction going?
Much better now that I have Master Keezer to help me. Although, to be quite honest, it's more a case of me helping him. I'm taking note and learning as I go.
Next time round, you'll be the siege master.
I rather hope they won't be here next time.
How much longer do you think it will take?
I wouldn't like to hazard a guess. As I understand it, the base is quick to make, but the other parts are more complicated. And then there's all the balancing and setting the trajectory and range.
I see. Well, I hope it's ready soon.
So do I, Henry.
С учетом того, что даже основания до сих пор нет. Я бы так не надеялся.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
How are things with you?
Хотелось бы, чтобы все закончилось.
Let's pray we finish it soon.
Я прежде в осадах не участвовал, но слышал, что это может продлиться несколько недель, а то и месяцев.
How are things with you?
I thank the Lord I'm still alive and well.
So do I. Others haven't been so fortunate.
Стражник.
You'd have better be something important.
How are things with you?
Wait now. Weren't you on the nighttime raid too? It's a shame we didn't succeed. It could all have been over by now.
I keep saying the same thing to myself. But we can only trust in God's plan.
Aye. and pray for salvation.
Так. Что по времени? Времени у нас куча. Это значит, что мы... Где? Это значит, мы отправляемся в Ротаю, чтобы подготовиться. Мы подготовили войско, там, территорию, разными ништяками запаслись для армии. Теперь мне надо самому подчиниться. Зелья у меня разные есть, я думаю, мне их хватит. Починю броню, меч, сапоги, самое главное. И я думаю, они построят эту гребаную машину. Сколько им дней надо? Я в Рим играл, за один ход можно было такой шеф построить. Правда, в Риме, по-моему, один ход за полгода, да? Чего? Мы ж не знаем, сколько времени из тех
Greetings, good night.
полгода они строили
How
эти
may I
уши.
serve you?
Ремонт. Ага. Теперь партнер.
God be with you.
Ремонт. О, у него есть какой-нибудь стёганый коев? Ну, я устал вот с этой фигней ходить. Надо что-нибудь вот подороже. Такое, что прям вот самое лучшее. Только ты, да? Хорошо, я куплю тебе. Их. Ага. А вот эту штуку отдадим в лошадь. Следующая вещь. Не слишком ли много здесь людей для военного положения? Ладно. Это не мое дело, сколько им брать людей. Хотя у них всегда есть я. Пустите меня.
God grant you.
Ремонт. Отлично. Поехали дальше. Теперь мы... Чего мы сейчас сделаем? А, да. Мы сходим помыться. Чтобы со свежими силами отправиться в бой. Я надеюсь. Женщина. Ой, меня.
I'd like to make use of the bar.
So what are you...
Вот видите, здесь можно подстричься, побриться.
I'll certainly need it.
I'm sure you'll...
Мыльщицы сделают из тебя нового человека. Нет, пожалуйста, оставьте старого, но чистого. Так. Я свежий, бодрый. Еду штурмовать крепость. Может, меня одного туда запульнуть? Если у них будут разбойники не в самой топовой конфигурации доспехов, то я думаю, мы сможем справиться. Если я также где-нибудь в уголку с луком встану, думаю, проблем вообще не возникнет. Жалко, конечно, что заложники. Это нам никак не поможет. Ай. Требушет, постройся. О! Это уже что-то, да? Ну да, не две палки с веревкой, конечно, но похоже. Так. Ты чё лёг-то? Требушет, строй.
Are you alright?
All right. All right! He tried to kill me!
But... It seemed like...
It was Pekar! He's lying right there!
Да.
And you let him go! You told me to my face that I had nothing to fear! Keep out of my sight, you hear? I might have been killed for pity's sake!
Ой, да ладно, ты в лагере полном людей. Ничего бы с тобой плохого не произошло. Вон, тело даже уже унесли. Ну, замечательно. Давай спать вот на этом. Сено. Я надеюсь, теперь этот требушет будет построен. Хотя мастер не очень рад нам. Но он же все-таки здесь. Пускай работает. Я уже жду не дождусь осаду. Ой, слава Генри. Так. Не, это все та же самая конструкция.
I'm worried about this bombardment.
О, отлично. Дождь начал. Посмотри за испытаниями. Как испытывать-то будем? Что, просто постреляем по городу? Давай. Там какой-то уже проход настреляли, да?
Now, let's see how strong those walls are.
Let it rip!
И... Почти.
That was just the first shot. The trebuchet has to be calibrated. That's perfectly normal. I'll have the range in no time.
Давай. Мы сразу будем смотреть на новый выстрел или нам еще денек подождать? Ну, кто-то прискакал.
Move. Move. God damn it, I have to get to Sir Divish. Sir, they're coming. There's no time.
Someone bring water. Breathe, man. You'll be all right. Who's coming?
There's an army on the way. And they're carrying the colors of Havel Medic of Valdek. And they're very close.
Havel Medic? He's surely not coming to help us.
Not that bastard. I have a score to settle with him.
Ой. Да, похоже, будет мощный бой.
Gentlemen, Toth's reinforcements are about to descend on us.
That swine. How many men?
We don't know exactly, but there are many, and they will probably be here by dawn.
So soon? How is it that we knew nothing about this before?
The whole land is in chaos. It's a wonder we can find out anything at all.
If they attack from the rear...
We'd be finished. Just as Toth has been planning.
The sneaky weasel.
He's been one step ahead of us the whole time.
Not this time, though.
What are you thinking?
Robard, how do you think the weather will be tomorrow?
Well, sir, if my joints don't deceive me, and they rarely do, it'll rain. It'll rain buckets.
Here. We'll make a stand here, I and Radzig's men. You will wait until they charge us, and then strike them from the rear. Here, and here. If we succeed, we'll have it over and done with before they notice anything in Talmberg.
It might just work. But we'll have to leave someone in the encampments in case they do come out of Talberg.
A few men will be all I need.
Well, that depends on whether you can hold out. We don't even know how many there...
My part in the battle, sir. I wanted to go with the Skalitz men.
I need more than that from you.
More, sir?
If we can't hold out at the quarry, we're finished. You, I, Hanish, and Radzik. And since Hanish is commanding the flank attack, Radzik is captive and I'm wounded, Captain Robard will be leading on the field.
Of course. Who better?
There's no question Robard's a good commander. But many of the men will be from Skalitz. We need someone there who knows them and has their respect.
Sir?
I mean you, Henry.
But that is... I want to be in the vanguard.
Now hear me well, Henry. There are whole cemeteries full of heroes who rushed into danger. And if the first human you meet runs you through, it won't be good for morale. Not to mention that Radzik would have my guts for garters. In the battle, you and a group of Skalitz men will be concealed in the woods over the road.
But sir, I think I should...
Quiet! Don't underestimate the task I'm setting you. You'll have to keep nervous men on a short rein and not attack too soon. And then conduct the attack on the rear so fiercely and quickly that the foe has no chance to react. If the line should start to break, we need someone with their head firmly on their shoulders to keep control of the men.
Very well, sir.
That's what I like to hear. When you're ready, go and join the Skalitz men. They'll be mustering in the woods above the road to Rete.
Понятно. Да, игра зависла, и когда я перезагрузил... Это не так, по-моему, стало. Да? Не, по-моему, все нормально. Ну ладно. Что надо сделать? Отправляйся на поле боя, как будешь готов. Ты готов? Вперед! Итак, мы будем... Явно стало светлее. Это уже получше, но все равно что-то не то. Ладно, разберемся. Потерпим. Если я правильно понял, мы гасимся в кустах. Я сдерживаю людишек. А в нужный момент мы как супергерои выскакиваем из кустов и раздаем всех люлей налево и направо. Мне больше всего нравится тот кусок, где мы раздаем люлей. Ага. Но нас победило дерево. Замечательно. Вперед! Спасаем город. Вы так далеко решили делать эту засаду? Так, аккуратно. Великий Генри Скалицы свалился со скалы и помер еще до начала боя. Фу! И что это, было? Я надеюсь, она сохранилась. Ништяк нас катапультировало, да? Да, она сохранилась. Благодарю тебя, игра. Давай ты больше не будешь так делать, а? Ладно, сам дурак. Надо было сразу вниз спуститься, да? Тоже ожидал, что произойдет такое. Так. Да, я внизу. Давай, готовь их. Лучше готовь. Надеюсь, сейчас со мной ничего не случится. Сидят такие мои люди из корицы. В кустах ждут, когда я приду. А я не приду. И я пролечу над ними. В облаках Генри летает, как лошадка. Я-то здесь, да, я свалился. Игра сохранена. Спасибо, игра. Я готов к бою. А вы готовы?
Easy, man.
Not yet.
Да?
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Он же слышно будет.
Easy. Easy.
Давайте. Вместе. А, это они орут. Блин, у вас реально дофигища.
First troops to the bridge. Break through. Vanguard to the left. And the rest, come with me. We'll flank the bastards.
Что ты там говоришь? О!
At them! Charge! Grind those horsens into the dirt!
Меня что, спалили? Ладно, не страшно. Ну да, не страшно, как же. Куча хорошо вооруженных людишек. Защищай. Ты куда Генри пошел? Давай-ка мы будем решать проблемы по мере их поступления, а? Вот эта проблема рядышком с тобой. Вот реши ее. Теперь вот эта проблема. О! Так. О, вы мечом. Давай. Вот. Все потому, что нефиг идти вперед, как дурак. Ну, блин, это... Не целься в них. Давай чутка обойдем с другой стороны. Тут люди более готовы умирать. Вот перед тобой стоит человек. Зачем ты куда-то туда целишься? Замечательно. Попадай, Генри. Попадай. Основная цель рыцаря — это все-таки попадать мечом. Фу. А я не могу туда пройти. Так. Вот мы защитили. Мы молодцы. О, народ на мосту что-то терпит. Больше народу на мосту. Помоги пану Ганушу. Что верно? Пища. Где? О, календула. Ага, игрок. Ой. Ой, мечом 20. Вообще без разницы, там короткие мечи. Где помогать? Вон там. Бери лук. Меч достань. Всё, есть. Во, ты чё, игра? Ага, все, зарубили. Теперь возвращаемся. Возвращаемся. Легко сказать. Так, передохни. Сознание не теряй. Ты что встал? Контрольная точка пройдена. Он спасен? Конечно, спасен.
Here's their leader.
What? This boy?
You should show a little more respect, Divish. You'll need it when you kneel before Istvan.
Oh, now the pup shows his teeth.
Istvan, you say? Not Sir Istvan? Or Lord Toth? Just how intimate are the two of you?
I know him. He's Eric, Toth's captain and right-hand man.
Finally, some good news. Shackle him and guard him closely.
Ну-ка, ну-ка.
Those bastards want to destroy our trebuchet.
These bastards получат мечом. Ох. Больше сражений, богу сражений. Ну, вы, конечно, бегите. Но, по-моему, на лошади будет лучше. Ух, как сейчас представлю, я как один сейчас туда прибегу. Ой, как один я сейчас там отхвачу. Ладно. Будем надеяться, что они владеют навыками телепортации. И как только я окажусь на месте, они окажутся на месте вместе со мной. Больше вместе в одном предложении. Так. Тропинку не пропускаем. Где эти сволочи? Воин. О, птенчик. Ну, прикольно у тебя доспех. А, вон вы сражаетесь, блин. Я думаю, чё, никого нет. На тебе по башке. Давай-ка вот сюда подойдем. На по башке. Ух ты! У тебя что? На спине глаза есть. Умер. Умер. Ух ты. Вот, минус еще один. 3 не убить. Ничего себе, я вас намолотил. Отлично. Остался только ты. О, подкрепление прибежали. Лошадь, сражайся. Отлично. Вы не подойдете к нашему трибушету. Что стоишь? А все потому, что надо уважительнее относиться к своему сопернику. Так. Эти, наверное, даже добежать еще не успели. Я уже тут порубал всех. Так, какие еще отчаянные попытки вы делаете?
Well?
The damage isn't too serious.
So we can shoot.
Not just yet.
Sir, what are we waiting for?
You've heard his threats, Robard. Do you want him to kill Radzig and my wife? We have to consider all our options.
And it would be a shame to destroy the castle, too. But how do we get that rat out of there?
So, I might have a solution. What about exchanging hostages? He was the captain at Vranjik, and he brought Istvan's reinforcements here. He seems to be on very, intimate terms with Toth. He might be able to tell us something. And he might even be as valuable to his lord as Lady Stephanie and my father are to us.
You're your father's son, by God.
You're a godsend, lad. You're right. We'll interrogate this whore son, and then decide what to do next. Come to my tent when you've rested.
Ой, да ладно, я не устал. Чё ты? Это ты у нас уже старенький. А у меня все хорошо. Давай, шатер. Меч что, убери. Зачем нам пугать человечка?
Or make your peace with God.
Do your work.
God bless you.
I won't.
What
betray
troubles
my
you?
lord.
Sir, I met the parish priest of Uzhets, and I must say he's a very interesting man.
I should say so. Have you ever seen him at swordplay? Not bad for a man of the cloth, is he? Rumor has it, when he finished his studies at the university where his father sent him, he decided the religious life wasn't for him, and vanished to foreign parts. They say he made a living as a mercenary. I even heard he fought against the Turk at the Battle of Kosovo, and then he suddenly came back and settled down here. No doubt it cost his family plenty, but he's a fair man and I'm fond of him. There's a lot to be said for a priest with a good understanding of vice.
А богу-то не так просто.
Well now, Eric. It is Eric, isn't it? Looks like the boot's on the other foot this time, doesn't it?
Fuck you.
You need to change your tone. If you start being nice, you might just come out of this alive. So now I'll ask you a few questions, and you better think carefully about how you answer them.
Ого. Ага. Ну давай вот так.
Who is this Toth?
He's an orphan, same as me. The Turks killed his parents, so he started killing Turks. Sigismund needed men like that, so Istvan ended up in his service.
How did you meet him?
What's that got to do with anything?
Ай, ну чё ты?
What is he after?
Are you really that clueless? To destroy Wenceslas's allies. You.
Так.
How many men does he have in the castle?
Enough to thrash you all.
Почему провал-то?
Who does he take his orders from?
Are you stupid? He works for Sigismund.
Listen to me. Toth has hostages in the castle, and we have you. So, how about an exchange?
Do you take him for a fool? Do you really think he'd give up the only thing he has that stops you from attacking? He'll never accept an exchange.
You better pray he will, for your own sake. Because once we attack, you'll be worthless to us. And what do you suppose will happen to a worthless bandit?
Ну, я думаю, это все, да?
I won't
Довольно
waste any
быстрый
more
допрос.
time on you. You could have saved yourself, but apparently you value your master's skin more than your own.
I don't need to save myself. Istvan will save me. And he'll kill every last one of you.
Why should he
да не
save you?
заводись ты так.
He'll sacrifice you, just like everyone in Vranyik and Pribyslavitz. You're nothing but a common bandit.
You don't know anything. He'll come for me, and anyone who lays a finger on me will pay dearly.
Вы что, любовники, что ли?
Now I'm curious. Why would he care that much about you?
Генри читает мои мысли.
Could it be your lovers?
You'd never understand.
For a while there, I thought we'd get nothing out of him. But in the end, he spilled his guts.
I thought you were much too easy on him. But it seems your approach was the right one. Well done, lad. Anyway, it's clear that young fellow is no ordinary brigand. And he believes Toth cares about him. We'll just have to see if the bastard cares as much about him as Divish does about his wife and you about your father.
Well, Divish, I think the time has come to find out just how much Toth values our hostage. Do you want to parley with him yourself?
I think I'll leave that to you, Hamish.
So be it. I'll do my utmost. Bring the hostage below the battlements.
Ну что? Переговоры. Когда мы уже будем штурмовать этот хренов замок?
Sir Istvan!
What is it? Did our neighbourly visit catch you unprepared?
A little, but we've settled in nicely. And this fellow is enjoying our company so much, we simply can't get rid of him. It seems we are in similar situations. Perhaps it's time to send our respective guests home.
Not a chance.
Do you take me for a fucking fool?
Be warned. If anything happens to Eric, I'll let every manjack here have his way with this bitch, and I'll dice Kobila into goulash meat.
Nobly spoken, your grace. But for all I know, you may have done that already.
Divish, I'm sorry.
Greetings, friends. Fear not, Lord Toth is treating us like royalty.
They're unharmed, as you can see. But don't try any tricks, or they won't be for long, Hanush.
It seems your lord doesn't place any great value in you, boy.
Go to hell. I'm sorry. It looks like it's not going to be that easy.
Well, at least we know they're alive. I didn't expect much of it anyway.
He won't harm them as long as we have this fellow.
Мы все равно топчемся на месте. Мы снаружи, они внутри.
Well, friends, what do you suggest?
I'd say we have no choice but to attack.
It's a great risk, Robard, with Stephanie and Radzig inside.
I know how you feel, sir, but Toth is no fool. They are his last safeguard. He will do nothing to harm them until he is sure of victory.
Would you be saying that if it were your wife inside?
Or your father? Well, let me point out that we have no choice anyway. We don't have enough supplies to keep men here for weeks, while gangs of brigands and Sigismund's army roam the countryside. Toth won't agree to an exchange, and even if he did, we'd have to let him go. With all his men, he'd be a thorn in our sides till Judgment Day.
Sir, a message has arrived.
Oh, what is it?
Margrave Jobst is approaching with his retinue and wants to speak with you.
Jobst, you say? All right.
What is he doing here?
Who's Jobst?
Jobst of Luxembourg is cousin to King Wenceslaus and Sigismund. He's the Margrave of Moravia.
Only a year ago, he was collaborating with Sigismund and the League of Lords. He betrayed King Wenceslas and his ally Prokop. Now, he's changed sides, appointed himself the leader of the rebellion against Sigismund, and wants to liberate Wenceslas.
Whichever way the wind blows.
Nevertheless, it seems the decision is made for us. We don't want Jobst camping with us in front of our own castle like a band of gypsies.
I'm afraid you're right, Hanish. All right. We'll let the men rest a while and then attack. Come to me when everything is ready.
Вот, мы наконец-то переходим
I'm glad you
к действиям.
I'm glad you came.
At your service, sir.
I'm about to give the order to bombard Talmberg. And since it's mainly thanks to you that we still have a trebuchet, I think you should have the honor of the first shot.
I'll be delighted.
To smash my castle? I can't say I share your enthusiasm.
Sorry, sir. I didn't mean it like that.
There's nothing to it. The men will load the trebuchet. All you have to do is pull the lever.
Well, I suppose I could manage that.
Then we'll bombard Talmberg for several days. Sir Robard will explain what comes next.
Так, я готов.
Load the trebuchet!
Что, все? Где рычаг? Вот рычаг. Вот рычаг. А, вот, прибежали.
Hey, watch it. I'll remember you.
Конечно, ты меня запомнил. Я столько для тебя сделал. Долго ж ты бежал? О, это будет долго. Теперь понятно, почему мы будем обстреливать его несколько дней, да? Ух ты, она что-то нагнулась. Да, посмотрите, посмотрите, где упадет. Где упал?
Divish said...
Sir Divish.
Sir Divish said you tell me what happens next.
Aye. We're going to watch Istvan shitting himself.
That's all?
For a few days at least. So if you have anything to attend to, now's the time. Just don't forget to come back.
Подожди, пока закончится трехдневный обстрел. Легко. Смотрите, как это делается. Заходишь в палатку. Говорят же, время быстро летит, да?
Since Sir Divish's colours still aren't flying over Talmberg, I suppose we'll be attacking.
Just so. That Istvan's a stubborn bastard.
All right. When do we start?
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? If you need to rest or anything, we can still wait. You won't have another chance until we've won the day. Or until your final rest.
I'm ready.
Glad to hear it. We're going to attack on two fronts, the north gate and the west wall, which will scale with ladders. The attack will be split into different stages, taking the outer walls, the inner bailey, and finally the core of the castle and the tower.
Так. Ну,
how are we going to attack the gate?
We'll try to do as much damage as we can with the trebuchet first. Keezer claims he can even hit it directly. Even if that's true, we'll have to charge through a downpour of enemy arrows all the way to the portcullis.
Portcullis?
Fortunately, it's wooden, so we'll be able to break it down. But dealing with the defense in the bailey won't be easy.
And what's the plan for attacking the west wall?
First, we have to get men to the wall with ladders, which is no easy matter under fire, so we'll need as many men covering them as possible. As soon as the ladders are in place, our foot soldiers will run up and try to scale the wall. Once a few of them get to the battlements, we should quickly gain the upper hand.
How will we take the battlements?
Either by scaling the west wall, or our men at the gate will help. If they can break through, that is.
And the inner bailey?
That will be tough. Even if we get through the gate and into the outer bailey, we're still a long way from victory. The castle is designed so we'll be like hens in a coop to anyone with a bow on the inner battlements. We'll have to either fight our way through, or somehow get around them.
What about the living quarters?
There, I'm worried most about the hostages. Once we're inside, Istvan will know defeat is inevitable, but we'll still have to fight for each and every room.
I think I've heard everything I need to know.
Do you want to join the attack on the walls or on the gate? Remember, many of the Skalitz men will follow you. It could make a big difference.
I'll help with the attack on the walls.
I'm proud of you, Henry. You've changed from an insolent pup into a tough, reliable fighter. And as God is my witness, we will kick those whore sons' arses.
A village lad and an old soldier? This fan must be shaking in his boots.
If he's not shaking, then he doesn't know what he's got coming. Just one last thing, though. No matter how good the plan is, something always gets fucked up. Keep your eyes open and take advantage of every chance. Help your comrades, and don't go rushing in where you're outnumbered. We have to take the castle gradually, one position after another.
I'll remember that.
Good luck to you, stripling.
Good luck to you, old soldier.
И хотя он спрашивал у меня про выбор, выбора-то мне особого не дали. Ух ты, какая сцена-то, а? Ну, что-то нас маловато, да? Метка. Вот и настало это время. Мы наконец-то его штурмуем. Больше подготовления разных. Сразу можно было пойти вперед. Да ведь? Ну да. Хотя, по идее, все наши бойцы должны быть с хорошим боевым духом, сытые. Мы стены. А, мы же где-то сбоку должны, да? Ну давай, загружайся быстрей. Чего ж ты? О! Ай! Ау! За родину! Так, там лучники. А ну скройся! покажись. О, почти в голову. Давай, покажись еще раз. Ну давай. А, черт. Ага. Вот около... Ой, воин. А что такое голый воин? Как-то он был очень плохо подготовлен. А, возможно, это их воин свалился. Кстати, как вариант. Так. Ой, меч достань. Давай.
Clear those battlements!
Воу. Ладно, тут где-то упало тело. Ну, брось его, ну что ты? Не трогай гадость. Индра, тебя еще мама не учила. Всякую грязь там. Не подбирай. С пола. А? Ой, мужик. О, куча несчастных граждан. Ничего, мы за вас отомстим. Куда вы побежали? А, видимо, с той стороны. Очень сложно. Кстати, я бы вышел. Но не будем оставлять тылы. Лучше бывает, если оставить тыл. Так. Не сопротивляйся, хуже будет. Ого, как меня развернуло-то. А, пал. Это не похож на других. Хоть это был волк. Ага, замечательно. Ой, что-то нас мало осталось. А, вон вы где все. Ух ты. Ну, дерись. А, видите? Ну, блин, вы мне мешаете, мужики. Я тут... Ты либо дерись, либо не мешай. А, все. Ух ты! О, разворачивай меня такая. О, кровотечение. Там у нас тихо, а тут... Ага. Ой, еще идет. А где? Я на частной территории. Ну, спасибо, блин. Буду знать. Какое у меня задание? Короче, просто бейся. Оп, 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 оп. Нифиг меня атаковать со спины. О, птенчик. Я спасу тебя, птенчик. Так. Ой, лошадь. Давай. Всего да побольше. Больше уровней, богу уровней. Ну чё, мы взяли двор. И кто у нас там в башне? Кто в теремочке живет?
Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanush.
Istvan! It's over!
What?
You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, we're all noblemen here, all bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship, but Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks this truce answers to me.
So, are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor!
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. And then, he'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
А, да их там всего-то ничего же.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Divish!
Stephanie.
Forgive me, husband. I'm sorry
For what?
for letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Never mind. Did he hurt you?
No.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzik free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Skalitz. Mount up, Henry.
You've heard what he'll do if we follow them.
We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
Как-то это было все легко. О.
This
А
is
может
quite a
как-то
turnaround, isn't it?
поскорее скакать?
What do you mean?
How long have we known each other? A few weeks?
Something like that.
Before that, I was chasing wenches around Rattay and you were digging turnips. And now look at us. A pair of veterans.
I was an apprentice blacksmith, not a turnip digger.
Same difference, you silly bugger.
Слушай, а мы же с тобой теперь примерно одного уровня, да? А,
The
нет,
way
ты
you
же типа
found
должен...
Toth, sneaking into Brannick all on your own. Well, what I mean is, hats off to you, Hal. You wouldn't catch me doing that.
Truth is, I didn't think much about it. I just felt I had to do it.
Я лошадь явно быстрее его кобылы, да? Сколько мы в таком темпе будем до Скалицы скакать?
What should I say to him?
Don't worry, it'll come to you. You'll see.
Well, I just hope he'll be there. Alive.
Это тоже верно, кстати. Нельзя этому Тоту верить. Он уже столько накуролесил.
What will you do now?
Not long ago, I only made plans 3 days ahead at most. Maybe I really could do something for Rattay and its people. Something really big. But there'll be plenty of time for that later.
Я так понимаю, из-за твоих доспехов эта лошадка быстрее доскакать не
What do you
может.
think? Will Toth keep his word?
He's a noble, right?
Yes. So am I.
So Radzik will be there.
Ё, я на это тоже надеюсь. Где мы там уже? А, да. Если даже они где-то скроются, посмотреть, скачем ли мы. Может, медленно скачем. Понятно, что мы просто хотим его подобрать. Ага, вон у нас целая толпа скачет.
There's no sign of them. Move on.
Вот. Видно же, что ты можешь быстро скакать.
I'm glad to see Istvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too, and now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
Are you all right, Father?
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
And where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
He knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little
Ну
about
да,
his
наш дом
past.
прямо перед замком же был.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
He spent some time in Prague, then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah, the sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh, well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it. I'll never forget his face. Or his name. Mark Vart von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. But it's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front. It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. My word, it's all go today, isn't it? I wonder who this is.
I think I know. It's Margrave Jobst.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Ну что, мы прошли игру. Мы молодцы. Забрасывать мы ее, наверное, скорее всего, не будем. Там же таких DLC-шек обещали нам, да? Еще попроходим. А на этом, пожалуй, все. Спасибо, что смотрели со мной это прохождение. Если вам понравилось, ставь лайк вообще под каждым видео из этого плейлиста с этой игрой. Обязательно подписывайся, чтобы не пропустить всякие разные новые прохождения. И спасибо, что досмотрел со мной эту игру до конца. И думаю, на этом мы заканчиваем. У нас и выбора нет. А нет, стой. Escape нажал, титры пропустил, а тут вот что. Разговорился уже, да?
You're doing well, son.
Father.
Come now. You know who sired you.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Amar. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
For what? I let you down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting. Now look at me.
Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right. I have to leave you now.
Oh, please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows. Make her proud.
Don't go.
Oh, don't go. No.
What on earth were you dreaming about? I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzik wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with Jobst.
Right. I'll go straight away.
What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me, as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
А мы уже освоились, да? Я хотел свой дом. Наконец-то получай. Да ведь? А? Аж почти что дом. О, эпилог. Понятно. Я очень рано с вами попрощался, да? У нас неожиданно есть эпилог.
Jesus, look where you're going.
Ты как туда забралась? Ай, дурилка. Иди сюда. Ну? А я уже такой, давай думать прощальную речь. Надо же как-то нормально закончить, а тут... На тебе титры, на тебе... Уже мультик, целых. И эпилог держи. Конечно, куда ж без него. Очень длинная серия получилась.
Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
Ну, я такой грязный. Ну, ничего, они потерпят меня. Я думаю, да.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Redzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed. But to surrender it means giving up great privileges, too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergolf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Bergolf is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghoff, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts, and now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghoff know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Berghoff at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
I expect it would be best to write it in your name as Lord of Lipa.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
So what do you think of it all, Sir Divish?
I think I don't know what to think.
That makes two of us.
If I didn't know anything about Yost, I'd say he's right and absolutely truthful.
If they'll
But
make trouble or join our
I've heard
side,
too much about him already.
Likewise. But I do feel he's the one with the best chance to put things right.
Well,
How about writing that you're
we'll see what we
concerned
learn
about
from
Bergov
Bergov.
and that you want to
If
see
the League of
peaceful
Lords stands
peace,
with Sigismund,
and then
then
ask
our
the
chances
opinion of the
pale,
League of Lords.
in spite of
Very well
everything
said,
Yob
sir.
said.
We shall
And
see.
what
We
they
shall
want to do
see.
about freeing King Wenceslas.
Whether
So, it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes, I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Bergov is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Very well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia. But instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years, and now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslas. Wenceslas also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned. They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change their alliances from one day to the next.
Who is he really, this Jobst?
The cousin of King Wenceslas? He's the Margrave of Moravia. I admit I don't know what to make of him myself. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate against the king. And now suddenly, he's reversed his position. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. It's best to keep a watchful eye on him, but he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days. We'll just have to see how it all turns out.
I'm a bit concerned so many people seem to think so little of King Wenceslas. You knew him, didn't you? What's he really like?
Well, there's no straightforward answer to that question. He certainly makes a great hunting and drinking companion, but he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't go how he'd like them. He never had much of a head for high office. He finds it tiresome. But once a man's grasped the scepter, it's hard to let it go again. You can't just abscond. You've seen for yourself what happens when he disappears for a few months. Better a bad but legitimate king than a bloody war over the throne.
Who is this Prokop that Jobst spoke of?
Jobst's brother, the king's cousin. He and Jobst warred over Moravian supremacy for years. Then they were allies for a while, betrayed Wenceslas and sided with Rupert of the Palatinate. But after Sigismund abducted Wenceslas, Prokop fomented a revolt against him, and Sigismund had him captured. Politics. Make of it what you will. I, for one, can't make head or tail of it most of the time.
The League of Lords and that Bergov we're off to see. Who are they exactly?
The lords of the powerful houses. Heinrich of Rosenberg, Otto of Berghof, Heinrich of Radetz, and others. They're unhappy with the way their influence declined after Wenceslas surrounded himself with the lesser orders of nobility. They abducted the king years ago and made him bow to their will. They got away with it that time, and now they've joined forces with Sigismund and done it again. But now it seems that Sigismund's behavior is starting to rub them up the wrong way, so they may well be thinking twice. We'll see what Berghoff has to say.
I don't know all that much about Sigismund.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary in his own right. 7 years ago, he led a crusade against the Turks and was defeated at Nicopolis. Some say it was due to the recklessness of the French knights, most of whom were mercilessly slaughtered. Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might well make a better ruler than Wenceslas, but he's arrogant, and to our misfortune, brutal. Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother Wenceslas. Ironically, Wenceslas joined forces with Jobst to liberate him. And now this is how Sigismund repays his brother. There's no doubt about it, God does move in mysterious ways.
Rupert of the Palatinate. That's a name I hadn't heard before today.
Rupert is the Prince-Elector of the Palatinate.
What's a Prince-Elector?
The Prince-Electors are dignitaries of the Holy Roman Empire who have the right to elect the King of the Romans, who would then be crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the Pope. Rupert took the title for himself with the help of 3 other Prince-Electors, even though Wenceslas had already been appointed. Some of the nobility in the empire recognized Rupert's claim, but when he went to Rome to be crowned emperor, it turned into a fiasco. Now he's doing his utmost to get Wenceslas to acknowledge him, but so far without success. So, now we have 2 kings of the Romans. Jobst sided with Sigismund for a while, but now he's switched allegiance. He seems to do that quite a lot.
That young man, Sir John of Liechtenstein. Why is he here?
The Liechtensteins are a powerful Austrian family with estates in Austria and Moravia. Sir John sits on Jobst's council. Since the king's being held captive in Vienna, I suppose it makes sense to have a powerful Austrian house as allies. It could be very useful.
That's about all.
Very well. Take the letter from Sir Hanush. And good luck, son.
Are you serious?
Толстяк.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Что, борода там посидела уже. Поздравляем, вы завершили основной сюжет. Вы все еще можете выполнять сторонние задания или просто путешествовать по миру. А чтобы завершить игру, присоединитесь к отряду пана Яна Тачика. А это я и хочу.
The Lord be praised. Be a bit more careful.
Давай. Не ругайся.
Hey, watch it.
Ну так ты спускайся, чё ты застрял-то у меня?
Good day, Henry.
О, моя лошадь. А ты это... Пропал?
So, can we set off now?
Of course. I can't wait.
So, to horse. The Lord of Bergov is bound to be waiting as eagerly.
Ну, отправляйся за птачиком. Будешь в обрыв? И давай не будем пока что. Вот так вот, да, думаешь, игра закончилась? А, нифига подобного. Теперь мы скачем криво. Очень-очень криво.
So, how is life as a highborn bastard?
I'm getting used to it.
What about Rodzig? Has he accounted for not owning up to you the whole time?
He's...
Ух ты, ё-моё. А ты умеешь, блин, пропадать неожиданно. Зашибись он ускакал. Сытость. Это когда я успел столько наесть. О, это получится очень длинная серия, но она такая неразрывная прям. И мы наконец-то закончили эту игру. Я думал, мы закончили еще полчаса назад. Ничего, опять-таки, это было очень интересное путешествие. Надеюсь, как для вас, так и для меня оно было таким. Было круто. Так, где он там прячется-то, а? Телепортировался, блин, из забора. Эй, ты где? А, вот, наплевал стал. Так. И чё у нас здесь?
How about it, Henry? Can we go? Are you ready for this?
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
Quite.
Конец. Вот теперь точно конец.
Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that whoreson who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I have a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
Конец. Еще раз я хочу сказать, что это было очень интересное путешествие. Спасибо, что смотрели меня. Лайкусик, подписочка, да. Если понравилось, обязательно, куда же без него. Все, продолжить. Еще что-то появилось, что ли? Ну, собственно, все. Спасибо, что смотрели, и всем пока!